Welcome, everyone, to the City of Middletown Planning Board meeting, January 3rd, 2024. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. For our transcriptionists, we'll just do a little housekeeping. All planning board members are present this evening. Also present this evening is Planning Board Attorney Rich Krogan, Building Inspector Walter Welch, and Fire Inspector Theron Adkins. All right. First on the agenda, we have approval of December the 6th, 2023 minutes. I need a motion. Mr. Brito. I need a second. Mr. Madden. All in favor? Aye. First on the agenda this evening. Well, first of all, let's just say everyone here this evening is considered a preliminary hearing, and the board may or may not choose to act or vote on those applications tonight. Now we can move on to our agenda. Cashin Simmons, 122 East Main Street, retail clothing store. Please step up to the mic, sir. State your name for the record.
My name is Cashin Simmons.
And what you plan on doing?
I'm planning on opening up a clothing store, 122 East Main.
Okay.
Currently have a clothing line that I've been running since 2012. Our goal is to pretty much reestablish a flagship store for our brand. Second, to actually give some of the local independent brands a place to showcase their merchandise. And third, which is one of my favorite aspects of what we're trying to do, is a consignment piece for the store, where we'll be doing buy, trade, and sell, which is going to be helping local people be able to...
Just please speak into the mic. You could raise the mic
Raise it up if you'd like, yeah.
This better?
Yeah.
To help local people be able to trade and buy clothes, shoes, bags, accessories. We don't have that piece here in Orange County. A lot of our demographic has to travel outside the town lines to get certain types of independent clothing brands, and to also try to sell or trade or buy used garments as well. So we want to bring that aspect to the community as well.
Thank you. Ms. Tu, do we have the mailings? I should ask that first. Okay. All right. In that case, I'm going to open the public hearing. Ms. Tu, do we have anything in writing? Nothing in writing. Anyone on the telephone? Then I'll open it up to the public. Anyone here wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. I'll go to the board for any questions, comments, or concerns.
We always ask the hours of operation. It might have been on there and I missed
Should
it.
be in the resolution.
Yeah, we're from 9 to 9.
Thank you.
Yes. I apologize, 11 to 9.
Yeah, it's 10 to 9.
If you think you might be wanting to open earlier or later, it might be better to do the larger window of hours, just so you don't have to come back in front of the board.
Okay. And you have 10 right now currently, right? That's fine. 10 is good. Yes. Yes, right now, daily. We might make adjustments on Sunday, but we want to see how the flow is. And
Mr. Atkins, any concerns?
I have no concerns. I did a site visit. Everything looks good over there, and I'll get with you about that other permit. Okay, thanks.
thank you.
Mr. Welsh?
Okay. Go back to the public hearing. Anyone present wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. I'm going to close the public hearing. And I
Motion
need
to
a
close.
Give me a minute. I need a motion to close the public hearing. Mr. Higbee, I need a second. Mr. McCormick. Roll call. Mr. Madden?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Brito?
Yes.
Ms. Witt?
Yes.
Ms. Houston?
Yes.
Mr. Higbee?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, I'll go back to the board one more time for any questions, comments, or concerns. Nothing. Okay. So basically, it's tonight's resolution for 122 East Main Street is the Planning Board Resolution 01-03-24-01. I need a motion. Mr. Brito, second. Ms. Witt. Discussion? Roll call. Mr. Madden?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Brito?
Yes.
Ms. Witt? Yes. Ms. Houston?
Yes.
Mr. Higbee?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Get with the DPW and the fire department, and good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate your time and considering me. Thank you.
Good luck.
Have a good night.
Next on the agenda, Jose J. Contreras, 59 North Street, barber shop. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please state your name for the record.
Jose Contreras?
And Ms. Tu, do we have the mailings? Yes, we do. Okay. Please give us what you want to do.
I'm planning to open up a barber shop at 59 North Street.
Okay. And we might as well mention that in the application, you've also requested or told us that you're going to be doing a podcast.
Yes, correct.
Okay. I'm going to go to the public hearing, open the public hearing. Anyone present wishing to discuss this application, please step forward. Go to the board for any comments, concerns, questions. Ms. Witt?
I just have a comment. It sounds really cool, so I wish you all the best. It's
Thank you very much.
a cool concept.
It's going to be very unique.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks from the drawing, so,
Thank you.
Mr. Atkins, any concerns?
No concerns. I'm familiar with the building. It's fine.
Mr. Welsh?
Okay. I'll go back to the public one more time. Anyone present wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. Going to make a motion to close the public hearing. I need a motion, Ms. Witt. I need a second. Mr. McCormick. All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing. I'll go back to the board one more time for any questions, comments, or concerns.
Just wondered, how many people will be working for you?
7.
7, okay. Oh, it does say 7 barbers. My other question is, everybody's licensed, right?
Correct.
Awesome, thanks.
Can you just tell us about the podcast?
The podcast will be like for people like us, like professionals, people like you guys, how you guys come in, like how you got to that position, and just talk about basic stuff, how we can bring things to the community, better vibes, better energy, stuff like that.
And can you talk about the photo shoot area?
I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. I'll just probably have just a bunch of mirrors set up, because I was planning on doing like a drop like backgrounds and having like that, but it's gonna, I don't know if I want to do that.
Anything else?
Just to say, I've seen some of the barber YouTube videos, and they're really cool, so your podcast sounds really interesting.
Thank you.
I think I should just mention, though, in the resolution, there is a comment that he can host a 1-hour podcast within the hours that you've asked for,
Correct.
okay? Within the approved hours of operation once a week. Podcast guests are limited to professional licensed barbers or hairstylists,
Yes.
okay?
And other professionals.
Well, we had that conversation, and as long as it's licensed barbers, hairstylists, because we can't let it turn into a live audience.
Okay.
That would change your barbershop rules. You become a place of assembly. You can't do that,
Okay.
okay? And also no food or drinks, and that's also by your state license. You can't do that either. So
Okay.
there are some restrictions in this that we had to put there. So just be aware of that,
Okay.
all right?
So the coffee bar, I can't do that.
The
Like-
what bar?
Coffee bar?
Like the
Coffee
coffee bar
bar?
is gonna be in the entrance. It's gonna be complimentary for all the clients and everything. It's gonna be like free sodas, free water, and
Well, you didn't mention that in your application, as far as I can recall. And we had Ms. Tu call you several times and let you know how this could
it's
take
in the,
place,
Okay.
all right? So you've been emailed this resolution. please read it and follow it, because that's the way the code works. We have
Okay.
to work within the code,
Okay.
okay? Does that sound correct to you?
Yeah, if you find that you need the coffee bar, you would have to come back
Okay.
to the board with a new plan for it.
It's in the plan.
It may be
It's the,
shown in the plan,
It's the
but,
front desk.
yeah,
Yeah, front desk, and it has the sink right there. That would just basically be for washing the utensils and everything.
Right, there's front desk, right.
I
You're-
just labeled it as front desk, but it's gonna be like a coffee bar.
okay, well, it's not listed as such, but
Okay.
if you keep it complimentary,
Yes.
I think, we're not gonna include it in the resolution, but if you keep it complimentary, I think you can might get by.
Okay.
But it's
As
not
long
under,
as it's limited to coffee.
right.
Yes, it is. Coffee, water, and that's it.
For the record, it's not written, you may have a front desk, but it's not written as a coffee bar or anything like that. We can
Okay.
only go by what you give us,
Okay.
okay? Board members have any questions?
No, I just, I understand the city's wanting to protect, them from open lawsuits or anything like that, but on the other hand, most shops probably do serve coffee, which I can understand why he would want to serve gentle, complimentary coffee to his customers and employees,
Understood.
like a break
And on
room,
the-
kind
the
of.
flip side, in women's salons, they serve coffee and tea and water, and nail salons serve the same thing, you know, it's not a common, like, complimentary, right? I have it off now? Now it's on. Oh, it's on backwards. Lovely.
And that may be true, and that's okay. But we try to get the applicants to give us as much information as possible up front.
I'm sorry
so
about that.
That's okay. So that when we make a vote, as a board, we're all on the same page. Okay? That's important. Well,
And with the new resolution system, it's already done before we get here.
right. To make changes becomes a little more
Cumbersome.
tedious. Because we have to redo the resolution. Not that we can't. If something serious came up, we would amend it. Okay? Yes?
Just in terms of the podcast, you specifically said limited to licensed barbers and hairstylists, but you said other professionals. So I just want to make sure that,
Well, that's why I read it off. He has to
Yeah.
understand that
Right.
was the criteria that we
Okay.
gave him for this podcast. Because we don't want it to turn into a live audience. As soon as it comes into a live audience,
Absolutely.
it becomes a problem as far as the code is concerned. So we have to at least try to limit it, or else you'll have 25 people in there having a podcast, and we can't do that.
so I'm reading this though, this says the podcast guests are limited to professional licensed barbers and hairstylists. Does that mean that if he wanted to interview, just say yourself, he would not be able to do that based on the way this is structured?
Basically, correct, basically.
That's what I,
Can we make an exception, or, I mean, long as there's one person there, I can see there's always limitations to what we do, but we have to try to adhere to the strictest so that it doesn't become a problem.
In the interest of protecting the city too, I just want to ask for my own clarification of our attorney. Would we as a city be able to limit how he does a podcast? As long as he doesn't have more than 25 people in there, wouldn't he be free to
I just use that
interview?
number as reference, there is no number.
But a live audience would be physical people in the building, not who
Yes.
he's interviewing. So that would just be one person he's interviewing. So my question just to be fair, what difference would it make who he interviews?
Well, Mr. Atkins, when does it become a live audience?
Well, I think if he's interviewing a single person.
No
If a
problem.
licensed barber or whatever, somebody's interviewing a single person, that's a podcast. As soon as there's somebody watching that interview happen, then it becomes an audience. Now, there's different levels, obviously, of, levels of occupancy and of how many people are in there. But then we become a public assembly, or we become a filming studio. So, and that's the issue that the city's trying to avoid. I understand what you're saying. You want to interview, say an attorney comes in
Right.
and gets his haircut, you want to do a podcast and interview him, say, hey, whatever. And I think that's the spirit of what you're trying to
Well,
do.
everything would be like set up like after. It wouldn't be like during everybody's cutting hair.
Yeah.
It would be organized and everything. It would basically be all the barbers that work there and whatever professional's gonna show up.
I guess my concern was the First Amendment here. So, freedom of speech.
Well, it's limited to what he could have as far as creating an assembly. So who he interviews, it was told to us when he came in that that's who he was going to do. So that's why it was limited to that.
So would he be allowed to change that now if he wants to say he would be interviewing X number of people per week? But it should be his choice, I would think. And just looking at the First Amendment, who he interviews, as long as he's not gathering like 25 people in the barber shop, one-on-one, it's still just two people talking, and I just wouldn't want to limit him unnecessarily is all, as a,
The First Amendment's protecting what he can say. What we're talking about is where he can say it, who he can say it with, and how many people can be there when he says it,
Right.
which is not necessarily protected by the First Amendment.
I
Keep
don't
in
know about
mind,
that.
whatever parameters we set for one person, we have to hold for every other person. That's why we follow to the code as closely as possible. We're not trying to limit what he can say, we're trying to limit the number of people in the place.
So, yeah, so that was my point, exactly. I just want to be fair and protect the city from any litigation or,
Well, I think we're pretty well protected because
Okay.
the inspector is the one that raised the concern that there would be no live audience, because then it changes he's not a barber shop, he's a place of assembly. and
Sure.
That changes it. So as a
I've-
planning board, that's what we're deciding.
Right. I've seen some other barbershops doing live podcasts in Middletown. That's why
Well,
I want to be fair to all
This
of
is
our
the first one who's omitted
residents.
it. That's how. let's put
Yeah,
it
no,
that
of
way.
course,
Yeah.
of course. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Witt.
So just to be clear, so you're talking about, you're doing your daily business, your 7 barbers, do your work for the day.
Right.
You're then going to then decide what podcast you're going to do.
It wouldn't
and
be
who
an
you're gonna do it
everyday
with.
thing. It would probably be like a Friday or Saturday.
Okay, so,
It wouldn't be live. It would just be recorded.
Okay.
And then it would be uploaded like to social media or anything
Okay.
like that.
okay, so that's what your plan was, is just to,
Right.
talk to someone, have it go
Yes.
live and, or
Just get
tape
like
it, or-
different perspectives from everybody, like how they made it and everything.
Gotcha, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you for clarification.
And thank you for being patient.
Nah, thank you.
Anything else from the board? Okay. For 59 North Street, Planning Board Resolution 01-03-24-02. I need a motion. Mr. Brito, I need a second. Ms. Witt. Discussion? Roll call. Mr. Madden.
Yes.
Mr. McCormick.
Yes.
Mr. Brito.
Yes.
Ms. Witt.
Yes.
Ms. Houston.
Yes.
Mr. Higbee.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good night, everybody.
Next on the agenda, Vicky, let's see if I get this right, Andrade? 12 North Street, Eating and Drinking and Artisan Workshop.
Hello, how are you?
State your name for the record, please.
My name is Vicky Andrade.
You can pull that right down if you have to. Go, don't worry about it.
I'm only 5'1", so
There you go.
thank you. My name is Vicky Andrade. I own Art Vicky Creations, which is located at 10 North Street. And I'd like to occupy the place next to me, which is 12 North Street, and open up a studio and workshop center. So my plan would be for myself to teach painting classes, woodworking classes, and then bring fellow artisans in to do certain types of skilled crafts, such as felt working, things like that. And also, I have someone that is certified to teach yoga classes.
Okay, Ms. Tu, do we have the mailings? Do you have anything in writing? Do we have anybody on the phone? Okay, then I'm going to open the public hearing. Anyone present wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. Go to the board for any questions, comments, or concerns.
Mr. Atkins?
I have no issues. We met, I've been there, been to that building, so everything's good. So, and she's not doing any podcasts, so.
No,
Mr. Welch?
Not yet,
no,
no.
no, no.
She'll have to come back and discuss that when she does.
You're good?
Go back to the public hearing. Anyone present wishing to speak on this application, please step forward. I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing. I need a motion to close the public hearing. Mr. Brito, second, Mr. Higbee. All in favor? Aye. Okay, I'll go back to the board one more time. Questions, comments, or concerns? And I just want to make it clear in the resolution, it's also an eating and drinking establishment with no alcohol
Correct.
and no cooking on premise.
No, not at all.
Any questions? Then I need a motion. Ms. Witt. Second, Mr. Madden. Discussion? Roll call. Mr. Madden.
Yes.
Mr. McCormick.
Yes.
Mr. Brito.
Yes.
Ms. Witt.
Yes.
Ms. Houston.
Yes.
Mr. Higbee.
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Very cool idea. Thank you.
Need a motion to adjourn. Mr. Brito. Mr. The second, Mr. Madden. All in favor? Aye.